What's good, y'all? It's your guy Bendu, and today I want to hit y'all off with this article that I came across from the Huffington Post, and as always I'm gonna link the article down below so you guys can go read the whole thing because I just clipped out the parts to make my points and everything. But Joe Biden will call for drug price legislation in his address to Congress. So this is when he gave his first speech in front of Congress and everything. His economic plan doesn't mention it, but White House officials say he will be specific Wednesday about what he wants and when. So if it's not in his economic plan, what is there to talk about? We know Congress isn't going to do it. So, and this is by Jonathan Cohn. I think that's how you say his name. President Joe Biden on Wednesday night will ask Congress to pass legislation giving the federal government power to negotiate prescription drug prices, a White House official told the Huffington Post. And that is literally, so when they put that in there, that is literally what every other developed nation in the world does. So every other nation has some form, developed nation has some form of single payer, whether it's China, Russia, or whether it's the UK, France, whatever European country, including China and Russia, who are supposed to be these brutal, repressive dictatorships, authoritarian dictatorships and everything. They give their people health care and they negotiate drug prices. And Biden will make clear he wants the legislation this year, the official said. I want it this year. I don't want it in my economic plan. I'm not going to force Congress's hand, but I'm going to beg Congress to do it, and I'm begging them to get it done by this year. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this. You get it? I'm Joe Biden, fellas. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading the article. Biden will make the call during a speech, his first address to a joint session of Congress, in which he will lay out the substance and thinking of his broader economic agenda. The thinking that doesn't involve the thing he wants to do. So much thought behind doing nothing but begging. It's almost as if you don't want to do this. It will come amid worries from prominent Democrats that Biden might be giving prescription drug legislation lower priority, even though it's a long-time cause for the party. Really? It's almost as if the Democratic Party, for, I don't know, the last 30 years, have been saying they want shit but never fight for it. It's almost as if the only thing Democrats fight for is more war, corporate tax cuts, tax breaks for the rich. It's almost as if that's all they actually fight for. And when it comes to stuff for the little guy, well, we just can't do it. Bipartisanship. Nancy Pelosi's tired. Yeah. It's almost as if. But if you ask The Intercept and Ryan Grimm, we're the problem. People like me pointing this out are the problem. So I gotta watch that debate him and Ryan Knight did on the Vanguard. I saw that pop up on my feed. I gotta check them out. By the way, congrats to the fucking Vanguard, bro. They're at 10K subscribers, man. Fucking congrats. I fuck with them, bro. Like, I'm not, I don't watch their channel often like that, but I definitely sub. And when they do like segments I really fuck with and I rock with, man, they give it up for them, bro. I'm a clap for them. Cause that's dope, man. That's so good to see independent outlets like that coming up. But continuing on, getting back on track with this article, the reason for the concern is that the White House is also releasing a policy blueprint on Wednesday in advance of the speech, and the blueprint is nearly silent on prescription drugs, but the speech will include a firm rhetorical comment, according to the White House official who was speaking on condition of, and I'll never know how to say that name, anonymity. I always fuck that up. Biden's economic agenda, parts of which he introduced in late March, includes everything from traditional infrastructure projects to federally financed childcare and paid leave. The total cost is expected to exceed, you ready for this? A whopping $3 trillion over 10 years. That's what they forget to say. So literally, I'm not good at math, but I think that's like a little over $1 billion per year, or a couple billion, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm bad at math. Hold up. I'm about to do the math right now. I'm about to ask Google how to do this. I'm about to ask the CIA Google. What's I think you do 10 divided by 3. I think. What is 3 trillion? Divided by 10. So $300 billion a year. So they're literally going to give $300 billion. Look, I'm sorry, I'm bad. Now that I think about it, I should have known that because it's 3 and 10. I should have guessed 300, but whatever. I'm fucking horrible at math. As LeBron James would say, I didn't go to college. But yeah, $300 billion a year for infrastructure over 10. So every year it's going to be $300 billion. So literally, they're investing more in blowing shit up with the military because Biden's giving them up in their budget. I think it's like 700. It's up to like $750 billion. Now we're well over $1 trillion when it comes to military spending, but they like to tell you it's only 750 billion or whatever like that. So we can literally spend almost that 3 trillion, so almost 1 trillion in a year. But literally, you have conservative Democrats and definitely all of the Republican Party, the GOP, bitching about $3 trillion over 10 years. We don't have it, but we have enough to blow up Muslim people in Syria, and also we have enough to fund Al Qaeda to overthrow Syria, so we can put a pipeline through and we can do whatever. They have all this money to do all this shit, and this is where the MMT shit comes in and everything. This is when they have the money for this shit. They just don't want to give it to you. They want to give it to their rich friends, their donors, line their own pockets, because a lot of these congressmen are rich themselves. So, a massive sum, but so I just got finished doing all that. Literally, the HuffPost reveals they're being stenographers for Biden right now. A massive sum, but one that is now within the realm of political possibility in part. I don't know exactly how much China is spending on their infrastructure right now, but I guarantee you it's not only $300 billion a year. And they understand that this is going to pay off in the end. Infrastructure pays itself off. That's just basically what it is. So, but one that is now within the realm of political possibility in part because of the coronavirus pandemic and its effects on the economy have exposed so many pressing needs. No, it's exposed that the fucking bullshit corrupt system that both the Democrats and Republicans praise is bullshit. It doesn't work. Sorry, not sorry. It proves that we are in late stage capitalism. It proves that we need to move towards something else, more of a socialist structure. But I would say hybrid could still keep keep capitalist elements, but factor in socialist and communist elements as well. That's what I'm saying we should do. But continuing, among those is the need for help. Is the need to help Americans with their healthcare costs, especially high prescription drug prices. Biden, during the 2020 presidential campaign, promised to seek legislation to reduce those prices by having the government use its leverage with drug manufacturers through the Medicare program. But at some point in the last few weeks, it's almost as if Biden just started his career of being a professional liar when he got in office. We've had 40 years of Joe Biden being a fucking liar. And he's like Trump. He accidentally tells the truth. Like, he accidentally tells you what we're actually doing in Syria and what Saudi Arabia and all these countries actually did in Syria. But I digress. At some point in the last few weeks, the Biden administration decided not to include a proposal on drug prices in the new policy blueprint. I wonder if it has anything to do with all the big pharma money he takes and the health insurance lobby money he takes. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. As word of that decision circulated, thanks to media reports in the Washington Post. And no, last time it was Democrats that killed that killed any type of legislation for cheaper drug prices. So Bernie Sanders back in 2017 put a bill on the floor that I believe Trump was for, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he endorsed it, but he vocalized that he was for it. He just don't want to be seen as the guy like, I'm endorsing communist Bernie, but I'm not endorsing him, but the plan sounds good. And they literally got Republicans to vote for it. I think they had the number they needed to get it through. I think Mitt Romney was one of the people that voted for it, if I'm not mistaken. And it took literally both of my senators in Delaware. So Chris Coons' bitch ass and Tom Carper, I believe, is the other guy, Carper, voted no for it. But most, popularly was fucking Cory Booker, and his bullshit excuse was, well, we just got to make sure the drugs are safe. We don't know. Like, yeah, definitely, Cory. Like Canadians are dropping dead every day from their fucking prescription drugs. It's just like how the GOP says they're waiting in droves in line in Canada for healthcare. We cannot. I repeat, we cannot go to single payer healthcare because you're gonna be waiting in line forever just to get help with a cold. There was literally a Canadian doctor that came. She sat before Congress and literally asked one of the GOP senators to literally stop saying that because it's not true. She was like, "Yeah, can you stop saying that? It's not true." And literally, his rebuttal was, "How many people die waiting for healthcare in your country? Blah blah blah." She was like, "I can tell you, it's not 60,000, yo, bro, if any, like, because we have almost 60,000 people that die every year from lack of health insurance."
On average, how many Canadian patients on a waiting list die each year? Do you know?
I don't, sir, but I know that there are 45,000 in America who die waiting because they don't have insurance at all.
So, yeah. As word of that decision circulated, thanks to media reports in the Washington Post, the New York Times, and other news outlets, aka stenographers for Joe Biden and Jeff Bezos, as Richard Wolff likes to say, Democratic lawmakers began firing off letters to the... We're gonna write fucking letters. I'm AOC. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter. Ro Khanna, the used car salesman himself. Ro Khanna totally looks like a fucking used car salesman, bro. I'm sorry. He sounds like one too every time he talks. We need to do a mixture of everything, Jimmy. As soon as he gets pressed on the question, I don't know what you're talking about right now, Jimmy. Sorry. And he was when fucking Jimmy pressed him on his show. But they fired off letters, strongly worded fucking letters at that, by asking Biden to reaffirm his commitment in clear, concrete terms. Kind of like this is why you don't give your fucking vote to somebody before you get assurances in fucking writing. And I promise you, even if Biden got it even if they got it in writing, he would have weaseled his way out of it even then. But that's when you have, if we had this, if Bernie AOC, hey, look, we'll tell our people to vote for you if you put Medicare for all on the floor. But this is the least with the prescription drug. This is one of the least things that you can do to get in writing from him. But I think even if they got it in writing, he would have found a way to weasel out. But if the squad would have done it, if the squad, Bernie and all the progressives in the Congress would have and the Senate would have done it that way, then you would have the popular mobilization and movement of the people behind you. But of course they didn't do it that way because they're shills for the party. As Ryan Grimm doesn't like me saying, but I'm going to continue saying, they're fucking sellouts. And they're protecting their fucking careers. So yeah. In response, White House officials tried to reassure Democrats that prescription drugs remain important to him, but I'm not going to do a fucking thing about it. It's important to me. It's so important. It's so important to me. I'm not going to do anything about it. That's how important it is to Joe Biden. You know what's important to Joe Biden? Naps. Prune juice. Yeah, those things are very important. Diabetic socks. Icy hot. I'm just naming all old people stuff. Although neither Biden nor congressional leaders have specified exactly how they will package proposals and pass them because they're all bullshitters and they're not going to fucking do it at all. Most likely there will be one or two sprawling pieces of legislation with a whole bunch of worthwhile initiatives vying for inclusion. The ones that make it are likely to be the ones Biden considers more important, most feasible, or both. I think I can almost promise you there's going to be something for rich people in there. And on prescription drugs, the politics are inevitably complex. Yeah, because it's like, most Americans, like, they just want to keep dying from not being able to afford their prescription drugs. Like, it's so complex. No, it's complex because of our politicians' corruption. That's why it's complex. The governments of nearly all developed countries negotiate directly with manufacturers over prices in one way or another. One of the examples you saw of this was the drug remdesivir that studies showed to help people like on death's doorstep with COVID. It helped like basically bring them from death's doorstep. The rest of the world paid significantly less than we did. And Donald Trump was boasting like, I have secured 500,000 doses or 500 million, so however many I've secured the doses, but he paid top dollar for them and most people couldn't afford it. I think like the dose that was that people would need, it would have ended up costing people like $1,500, like literally. So it was like, fuck, like what? But I digress. The governments of nearly all developed countries negotiate directly with manufacturers over prices in one way or another. Giving the U.S. government similar power is widely popular, according to polls. So literally they just contradict themselves. The politics are inevitably complex, but then they say it's widely popular. Yeah. Shows you where the Washington Post is or the Huffington Post is on this. According to polls, in no small part because the relatively high cost of prescriptions here is such a burden on so many Americans. Yeah. So, yeah. But drug companies and their allies argue that giving the federal government more power, more sway over prices would reduce innovation because we already get most of our drugs from government-funded colleges anyway. And we just go in and buy up all the patents and gouge people with prices. But guess what? It would sway innovation. Literally, a lot of these drugs are developed in government-funded colleges and shit like that. And even there was a company that was working with the Magrana. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't know for sure. I'm getting Microsoft mixed up. My fault with Big Pharma, but still, I digress. Reduce innovation that leads to breakthrough treatments on cancer, COVID-19, and more. Yeah, diabetics. The insulin was funded publicly. It was something, it was something that was going to be free, and then Big Pharma stepped in, slapped the price tag on it, and said, "Yeah, fuck you if you die because you can't afford it." So yeah. Sure, innovation, whatever. This is the same bullshit argument, that fucking big capitalists, make and everything. It's all bullshit. The industry also has one of the most powerful, well-financed operations in American politics. Yes, they fucking do. Guess who's one of their bitches? One Joseph Biden. At Tuesday night's background briefing, the senior White House official noted the importance of negotiating drug prices because you're also generating revenue that can be applied to both expanding coverage to those places in the country that have coverage gaps still, but also expand the benefits of Medicare itself. Ooh. That sounded like a reference to two of several ideas now under discussion. Is that the Easter egg? The Easter eggs AOC likes to talk about. Oh my God, man. You know what? I thought that I would only see Easter eggs in Marvel and DC movies, man. I did not know I was going to get it in politics, but man, that Easter egg, just that Easter egg of not dying from of not dying because I can't afford my prescription drugs. That Easter egg, I'm just looking forward to it, man. I might be looking forward to that more than Avengers 5, actually. Like, yo, bro, I'm pretty sure I saw the prescription drug Easter egg in Falcon and Winter Soldier when I was watching that shit. By the way, Falcon and Winter Soldier, yo. Look, I know it's American propaganda. I don't give a fuck. That show was amazing. But the prescription drug Easter egg in that show was, amazing, man. Amazing. Did you see that fucking prescription drug Easter egg in the fucking Snyder Cut, bro? I'm pretty sure they placed it right above Batman's junk, if I'm not mistaken. Just as a fuck you, you're not getting this. Bro. But, yeah, that sounded like a reference to two of several ideas now under discussion, offering new forms of cheap or free insurance to low-income people in states that have not expanded Medicaid eligibility, and adding vision care, dentistry, and hearing benefits to Medicare. So this is literally in the single payer systems. This is the shit they're arguing about right now. So they have the basics in a lot of these other countries. They argue over things like dentistry, vision care, I think trans surgeries and everything. They argue over shit like that. So they already have the basics. Like, we don't even have that. And they're talking about an Easter egg for all this shit. This is America. White House officials would not say whether Biden would mention these or any other specific priorities in a speech, but the policy blueprint does spell out one idea: making permanent some temporary improvements to the Affordable Care Act that will reduce premiums and out-of-pocket costs for millions of people buying insurance on their own rather than through employers. A program that leaves off 30 million people. Wow, so amazing. So yeah, so that's all I pulled from the article from that, man. Man, so this is just Biden backing off of one of his campaign promises again. The Huffington Post, trying to walk the line of telling the truth but also sucking Biden's cock. So man, I'm gonna need a drink after doing this segment because this is just mind blowing. Like, I'm gonna be doing a story Friday about Biden, how he's still continuing Trump's policy of confiscating American citizens' land to build the border wall. So all these shitheads like Candace Owens and Tommy Lauren and everything, and no, I'll watch what they're saying and everything just to see the opposing view. They're so. They criticize communism and they criticize socialism because they always frame them in this authoritarian, totalitarian, dictatorial state. But they're perfectly fine with the government confiscating people's land to build a wall to keep out immigrants who are coming from countries that we fucking destroyed with our military, our fucking military, that we overinflate with so much money that we're literally spending more on our military and blowing shit up and killing people than helping our people here. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. But I'm going to be talking about that more on Friday. But this is just more fuck shit with Biden that the shit libs aren't talking about. Everybody's back at brunch now. Everybody they tweeted out there, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden pictures at the inauguration and shit like that. And now they're right back to sleep. The only time they really get political now is when they tell you to go get fucking vaccinated, which you can suck my dick with getting that vaccination. Real talk. I'm not getting that shit. You can suck my dick with that. But that's the only time people are getting political now. Nobody's talking about this shit. They're not talking about the border crisis, none of it. So, yeah. Joe Biden's presidency is a shit show. Trump owns 2024. We're probably going to get a Vice President Candace Owens, which is kind of sad. But this is what America deserves, man. America's a fucking failed state. If you don't see it, they're bending you over they're bending you over a barrel and showing you the 50 states, my friend. So I'm going to go ahead and close the video out there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, share the channel. I'm at 590 subscribers. As y'all know, I'm going to probably do this story on Friday too, but the YouTube CEO already admitted that they're stifling channels like mine. So emphasis on that sharing, emphasis on the comments, engagement. Guys, I'm going to be getting back into the swing of doing, more episodes and everything. I'm just doing, you feel me? Like, if I don't do a show, then, I try not to stress myself out. Because when I don't do a show, I stress myself out and I get mad at myself and I shit on myself a lot. I get very depressed when I don't do it. I literally get depressed when I don't do a show because I want to be consistent for you guys. So, but, I'm just taking it one step at a time, just making sure I'm good. But that doesn't matter. What matters is me talking about this government fuck shit. But yeah, so definitely, please, guys, please share the channel, man. Let's get me to 1K by the end of May. 1K by the end of May. But yeah, if you're on Odyssey, I'm on Odyssey as well. Hit that flame emoji, share it on there. Do all the same shit there. And I'm gonna be on Rockfin soon, sooner or later. I know a lot of y'all want me on Rockfin, but I'm gonna be on there soon. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.